This is Camnet News. Welcome to it. My name is Sharon Kalimbula. The story is making headlines on our desk tonight. 38-year-old woman of MISISI compound survives 18 years of gender-based violence, finds solace in education. Gia's initiative supports impeachment motion in Parliament. And voter apathy, a result of poor political leadership, charges the anti-voter apathy project. In international news, Kenyan online cartel is luring girls to orgies, police warn. And in sports news, 2-day of SUSCON golf tournament has two tied at 4 under par. Join me shortly for the details.
Hello, have you heard about MISISI? Do you know that you can advertise for as low as 150 kwacha for 30 seconds? Well, MISISI is here. Advertise on MISISI between 17 hours and 18 hours. Just tell us about the services that you offer and we'll gladly put you on the market. For more details, you can contact
+260 953 995099. +260 962 444 726 or +260 971 177 467.
MISISI, allowing your business to grow.
Hello, Mother Zambia. I am your pastor on national matters. We look back and see in the history of this nation, Zambia is a great nation. When we as a nation are facing uncertainty and challenges that threaten our dignity, there are people around us that can help us think. And so on national matters, join me with His Honor, the former Vice President of the Republic of Zambia, Mr. Enoch Kavindere. May God bless Zambia.
Join Pastor Victoria and Moses Chilua, the Healing Word Ministries International.
Starting on the 3rd to 6th December 2020.
Dr. Francis Miles from the USA returns to Zambia for a conference on issuing restraining orders.
Because you see, God responds to your revelation. So if you approach God as the healer, He heals you. If you approach Him as your shepherd, He will touch your soul. But if you approach Him judicially, He will show you He's the cause.
Venue, the Healing Word Ministries International in Ibex Hill. Time,
17 hours to 19 hours from Thursday to Saturday.
And on Sunday from 09 hours to 11 hours. For more details, call +260 962 965 883. You do not want to miss this conference this time.
Thank you so much for joining us. We now look at the news in detail. A 38-year-old woman of Lusaka's MISISI compound, a survivor of gender-based violence for the last 18 years, says her dream of becoming a clinical officer one day gives her hope to face each day. Jane Mambo, who divorced her husband in 2015 after going through perpetual abuse in her marriage for almost 18 years, has told Camnet TV that she decided to go back to school in 2017. But the effects of the COVID-19 are holding a toll on her dreams of writing her grade 12 examination due to the disruption in her resource base. She has since appealed to all well-wishers for assistance so that she may be able to pay 2,000 kwacha she owes the school to be able to write examinations. Details in this report.
Despite going through a failed marriage, living her dreams of becoming a clinical officer is something that this 38-year-old mother of 3 has refused to do. However, completing a secondary school has seen some difficulties as this survivor of gender-based violence neither has the financial capacity nor a job to support herself, making the dream almost impossible. Jane Mambo thought after divorcing her husband, who abused and made her suffer for almost 18 years, her agony would end, but she was wrong.
2015, I divorced 7 November. The man wanted to kill me. I used the window to save my life because we were staying Kumakeni, Dan Kaliaria. That's where he was working. So I had to go there also. So thereafter, he was beating me like I don't know. I decided to say, okay, enough is enough. That's how I had to find a house makuk kawani room. By then I was doing something. Thereafter, 2017, it was just came in my mind. I said, I think I can do something. I decided to go back to school. I had to buy some books, everything. I said, no, I want to go to school. That's how I started it. In the morning I go, I do my piecework where I was working as a maid. In the evening I go to school. I used to sacrifice like in terms of paying the tuition fee. I started in grade 9. Grade 9, I wrote, I qualified to grade 10. I couldn't stop there.
Divorce ended her physical torture, but her husband's refusal to support the family means that she has to struggle to maintain for them. Mambo, with a desire of achieving a goal one day of becoming a medical practitioner, says surviving with this harsh economy is hard.
It's difficult, it's hard, because in the night I'm supposed to wake up for studies. But because I stay in this house where there is no power, I can't manage to wake up. If I want to start, I have to use this car phone, car light. I take my phone for charge, then I use it for studies.
Mambo, who stays in a densely populated shanty in MISISI compound, is appealing to all well-wishers who may render their support for her to be able to write her final grade 12 GEC exams on the 14th of December 2020.
I really need the help. I'm writing on 14th and I don't have money to give my tuition teacher.
Miriam Kemba, reporting for Camnet TV News in Lusaka.
Sad as it may seem, indeed it is a success story. Somebody has decided to go back to school. We surely hope that well-wishers were watching that story. Moving on in the news, women in Mansa Namandwe community have bemoaned the lack of financial opportunities to grow their businesses. The women who sell beads and jewelry made from tree barks and stones say women in Luapola province could be self-reliant if given equal opportunities. Speaking to journalists in Mansa, when EITA monitored its Strengthened Accountability Program funded by a Swedish NGO, Diakonia, one of the women observed that lack of machinery was another challenge hindering their growth and their venture. And Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative says it hopes that women will be able to sustain themselves despite having limited opportunities. Let's get the details in this report. In a quest to be financially viable, a Mansa-based women's group has engaged in mining activities with the aim of growing their venture nationwide. The group, calling itself Women in Mining, is specialized in processing beads and jewelry using locally available resources such as seeds and stones, and are determined to change the Namandwe community, which is mainly impoverished. Their initiative is under the Strengthened Accountability Program funded by Diakonia and spearheaded by EITA, which promotes sustainable environment use through social accountability and tapping into available opportunities.
Twawomba business kulingana n'emirimu yetuleewomba ng'effine mu mwenyi apa bakituntu tunono nomba nga natuyikatana era tuleewombera pa kintu kimu kitwatwala business y'espantanshi n'okwafwa aba kulya kuyeri yoko tuyikeere.
The group, however, bemoans its stagnant profit margin, which it attributes to lack of machinery and capital to increase production and capture more women in the process for income generation. One of the women spearheading the group says women are always ready to contribute positively to the well-being, but scarcity in resources makes it hard for them to sustain their efforts.
Twalafa nomba yakese pe province so tulapo twasambirira kwena tapabe ekyo twamonapo nangu kimo twaikala fye fino fine so amabweyena yenge yakola kuti twabombe fintu ifingi ngefimo ya mwene ayama bwe kuti twapanga mabatani kuti twapanga obulungu emulandu wine mwaki mwena tubikirepo no bulungu kaili ali bali mu beadwork ni mu mulimo wa kupanga obulungu. So nomba twamona ululu balirwa mabwaya yo tukwete yashupa no bwafya bwa yashupira tatukwete ba mashini ababenga twafo kutula.
Meanwhile, EITA Massa Coordinator Hope Mwelaisha plays that her organization will continue training women in social accountability and entrepreneurship skills to ensure that they have alternatives from activities that degrade the environment.
Those groups are trying to make a livelihood out of the beadwork that they're doing. That training was done by 2 members in the group, and the 2 members, we asked them to also train the rest of the members, and we also train them on how to preserve the environment.
Batupera tumbling machine twapisha muri machine kulingana neso twasambilire pambuto nga twabeko tuteti batushibati ni kuchimu tichafuma tubaso.
Wilder Konya and EITA have created opportunities for these women to address issues of gender inequality and develop confidence in their own abilities. Their success can only be realized once they are financially empowered to grow their ventures. Sharon Kalimbola, Camnet News, Lusaka. The Media Network on Child Rights and Development Executive Director Henry Kabwe has called for more investment towards early childhood education. Mr. Kabwe was speaking during a media engagement on early childhood education, whose aim is to influence 10 communities to promote and demand for inclusive early childhood care, development and education services for children between 0 to 6 years. Mr. Kabwe says there is need for government to meet the demand of children by fully engaging in matters that education is of great importance to the nation's development. The Ministry of General Education. It covers for children between 0 and 6 years. The Media Network on Child Rights are calling on government premium for early childhood education, adding that education is a human right and not a...
This project expand that education and also to try and do on TV to expand, at national level, so that such lessons can be done through radio and TV. I think some of us are old enough to remember Taonga Market. That radio show was very popular in Zambia. So such kind of services have kind of dwindled because of less funding to EBS services, and also the infrastructure is not that good. So at the moment there is EBS radio, which is just covering Lusaka. So they to ensure that we push for it to be national, and the television also to be expanded beyond the ZNBC TV4, so that EBS services, I think you've seen in other countries, is it on our DSTV channels, we have Mindset, yes. So Mindset is an educational channel for the South African governments, and that's something that we need to do in Zambia to ensure that more children have access to education. Radio is the most accessed form of media in Zambia, so we need such lessons to reach the most vulnerable children in Zambia. Then TV is good for inclusive education, because as teachers are doing their work, there will be a sign language interpreter, interpreting the lessons so that the learners can have access to that. So this is that what we're trying to achieve. Then we are going to have a visit by MPs to the EBS headquarters. I think it's next to SUSCON, so that MPs can appreciate how dilapidated the infrastructure is, for us to be able to move them, and just make sure that the budget to the Ministry of General Education also considers a substantial amount to develop EBS services.
In a related development, the Human Street Health Aid Zambia Executive Director Edgar Silwimba says it is important for more non-governmental organizations to come on board and assist in raising awareness on the importance of menstrual hygiene among children with special needs. Speaking at the Home Support Group in Lusaka's Jack compound, Mr. Silwimba adds that children with special needs have been neglected in society. He is since calling for more attention and support towards children with special needs.
Some people with special need face challenges in managing their health. Different abled people who menstruate often encounter obstacles in accessing sufficient support and services, which puts them at risk for more health problems. In celebrating World Children's Day, which falls on the 20th of November annually, Human Street Health Aid Zambia partnered with Special Olympics Zambia in helping raise awareness on the importance of menstrual hygiene among children with special needs and the challenges they face. The event, which was held in Jack compound at Home Support Group, was characterized with sport lessons and sensitization programs on how parents with special needs children can be able to educate their children on the importance of menstrual hygiene.
That's why mavuto mzamba chitabwanji yasira yasinjatu so niza kuti vana vari pano ngatami ngati mumaschool right timachita demonstration machiza kuti apa tina vana vaina makolo so makolo vazaenda wa kunzise mozenzesira tikasiya mapadzi kambi tikasiya.
Director of Human Street Health Aid Zambia disclosed the importance of such activities among different able children.
We thought we should do something on World Children's Day, especially something special because today we decided to work with children with disabilities. And for some reasons, this is a group in society which is most neglected. And we thought we should go and give them some hope and just encourage them and see how best we can incorporate them in society, especially where physical exercises are concerned and also issues to do with menstrual hygiene. So Special Olympics Zambia has come up with a program where they are doing the Fit 5 exercise program, where they're encouraging different kinds of exercises which children with disabilities can do without necessarily getting to move around, but just seated in one area or position. And as a Human Street Health in Zambia, we saw the need to sensitize and educate the women on the importance of taking good care of their children, especially where menstrual hygiene is concerned, despite the children being disabled.
Sanitary pads were also distributed to the children after the event, which was closed with some music. Miriam Kemba, reporting for Camnet TV News in Lusaka.
GIA's Initiative Executive Director MacDonald Jipenzi has welcomed the call by opposition members of parliament to bring back the motion to impeach President Edgar Lungu. In a statement availed to Camnet TV, Mr. Jipenzi notes that an impeachment is not about fixing the head of state, but allowing him to free himself from all manner of allegations from members of the public. He explains that an impeachment process will also allow members of parliament pushing for this agenda to tell the nation why they feel President Lungu must be impeached. This week, Mazabuka Member of Parliament Gary Nkombo asked the Speaker of the National Assembly, Dr. Patrick Matibini, to restore the motion to impeach President Edgar Lungu for violating the Republican Constitution. The Zambian Constitution, Article 108, allows a Member of Parliament, supported by at least one-third of the lawmakers, to move a motion to remove the President from office. This is not the first time the opposition members are asking for the impeachment of the President, as in 2018, a motion was raised by UPND but was halted by the judicial process. However, Nkombo has requested the Speaker to restore the motion to order.
To support the restoration of the impeachment motion against President Edgar Lungu. We were very worried when the impeachment motion was shelved on account that there were issues in court. But of course, the recent developments have nullified that notion that the Speaker used to shelve the motion from being heard, that there were other people who had challenged the motion in court. So we have been told that the court has no jurisdiction to stop the internal processes of the National Assembly, and therefore the issue of restoring this motion is as paramount as it were when it was first initiated. Therefore, why this motion is very important. We want these MPs to acquit themselves why they are pushing for an impeachment. What reasons are behind this push for an impeachment? Without debating this motion, it will be very difficult for people to appreciate why these MPs decided to move a motion to impeach the president. It's not about the motion being passed in favor or not in favor. It is about exposing those alleged violations of the Constitution by the president. It's actually an accountability measure, an accountability mechanism, and it is invoking actually the will of a democratic process in our country.
The Anti-Voter Apathy Project has observed that the failure among leaders to facilitate development in their jurisdiction is contributing to the loss of confidence in national governance. AVAP Executive Director Richwell Mulwani notes that poor representation of people's aspirations has made people lose interest in voting as they hardly see inclusive development. Mr. Mulwani says it is against this background that they have been calling for the implementation of a recall clause in the national constitution, which compels the citizens to recall leaders when they are not delivering according to the people's expectations. Mr. Mulwani says the system must be encouraged in future so that citizens can simply pass a vote of no confidence to non-performing leaders. He has since urged the electorates to scrutinize people they want them to represent when exercising their right to vote.
Yes, it's very important that, these political parties and candidates are accountable to the people. This is why, as AVAP, again, we go back to the constitution-making process. We have been calling for a recall clause. A recall clause means that if an MP or a councillor or whoever is in position is failing to perform, the citizens, the voters in that particular constituency or what, they must be able, or a district, now we are also voting for a mayor and a council chairperson, they must be able to call that non-performing member of parliament or councillor or a council chairperson so that the people can pass a vote of no confidence. But now, what you are saying is that cannot happen because I know it's not there in the constitution. So we are depending on the capacity of that particular individual and also on moral grounds that this person must be able to perform and report back to the people. So that one actually affects the electoral process because people shun voting because they know that even if we vote, there's no change that is going to happen. But we are saying the citizens must continue to knock on the doors of these elected leaders. They should continue calling them. They should continue, demanding that they should be able to go back to their communities, go back to their constituencies and answer questions.
You're watching Camnet News. Just now, we take a set of commercials. We'll be back with more interesting stories.
The University of Zambia, in conjunction with Monze and Kitwe Community Development Staff Colleges, wish to invite applications for admission to the first ever and affordable degree program for the 2020-2021 academic year. Bachelor of Arts in Community Development and Social Welfare, Diploma in Social Work, Mulungushi University, Diploma in Community Development, Taveta, 3 years. Admission requirements: minimum of 5 credits in 5 subjects inclusive of English language. Certificate in Community Development, minimum of 5 passes in 5 subjects inclusive of English language. Application for diploma and certificate is 100 kwacha, while for degree is 150 kwacha. For more details, you can contact 0955 724486, 0966 851496, 0977 937383.
From time immemorial, we have had different types of lighting options, from those that can burn down our investments in minutes to those that dig holes in our pockets due to constant replacement and huge consumption of our ZESCO units. Savenda Electric introduces the new and advanced electric bulb with cutting-edge technology of LED that has low power consumption, gives out bright white light, and lasts an hours. Savenda Electric manufactures all types of LED light, like plastic LED fluorescent tubes, down lights, ceiling lights, outdoor fittings, and solar street lights made to customer specifications. Let's live on the bright side of life by choosing the wide range of Savenda electric lighting solutions that are available in all leading stores and supermarkets countrywide. For orders, call 0962 642 490 or email jnbunda@savenda.com or pchabula@savenda.com.
We all miss the days we would play outside, go to school, and visit fun places. But now, we all have to take care to prevent the coronavirus. Viruses are really tiny particles that we can't see with just our eyes, so we need to keep ourselves safe by practicing good hygiene, such as washing our hands with soap and clean water regularly. We can also use hand sanitizer to keep our hands clean. It's also important for us to keep our bodies and surroundings clean. We must also avoid handshakes, hugs, and standing close to other people in public places. This is called social distancing. The coronavirus has affected millions of people around the world, so we need to stay safe. In the meantime, we can keep ourselves busy by reading a book, watching TV, and doing some schoolwork. There's so much we can do indoors. Stay safe, stay home, and prevent COVID-19. We're all in this together.
This advert is sponsored by the Zambia Revenue Authority, ZRA. My tax, your tax, our destiny.
Hello, Mother Zambia. I am your pastor on national matters. We look back and see in the history of this nation, Zambia is a great nation. When we as a nation are facing uncertainty and challenges that threaten our dignity, there are people around us that can help us think. And so on national matters, join me with His Honor, the former Vice President of the Republic of Zambia, Mr. Enoch Kavindere. May God bless Zambia.
Thank you so much for staying on. We continue with the news. University of Zambia 60th year student in the veterinary school has died. Fitzgerald Makumbi, male student, aged 27, was discovered by his friend after realizing that he had not woken up from morning around lunchtime. Details are that University of Zambia Security received a report from a third-year student in the School of Education that his friend, male Fitzgerald Makumbi, a 60th year student doing veterinary medicine at the University of Zambia, residing at room 15, block 3, Kwacha Hostel, had not woken up since morning and suspected him to have been unwell. Acting on the report, the medical personnel from the University of Zambia Clinic were informed, and they went and picked him up and took him to Levi Mwanawasa Hospital for medication. However, it was later confirmed that the student had died. The body was deposited in Mwanawasa Hospital mortuary awaiting post-mortem. This is according to a statement issued to Camnet TV by police spokesperson Esther Katongo. Moving on in the news, the Zambia Institute of Marketing ZIM President Kenneth Sinkamba says the institute remains focused in ensuring that it helps the country enhance its productivity. Speaking to Camnet TV in Lusaka, Mr. Sinkamba adds that in order to complete the implementation of the 7th National Development Plan goal, ZIM's primary focus is productivity, with the aim of getting members to sharpen their skills, as these are the drawn from different sectors of the economy. The 7th National Development Plan is Zambia's developmental blueprint for a period of 5 years beginning 2016 to 2021. The 7NDP envisions a prosperous middle-income country that offers decent employment, skills and background, and will be achieved by harnessing opportunities for economic diversification and growth. Mr. Sinkamba notes that the aspirations contained in the 7 NDP can only be achieved if partners work in tandem with the plan. He has therefore revealed that ZIM continues to run different programs that are aimed at enhancing different capabilities for national development.
At the tenets and expectations of the 7th Nation Development Plan, our primary focus in there is about productivity. So how does the Zambian market support productivity and commerce? One, in getting our members to sharpen their skills, because our members are drawn from different sectors of our economy. And as the Zambian Ministry of Marketing, annually we run skills development programs, we run workshops, we run conferences. All these are aimed at enhancing the skill capabilities of our members. Now, when our members are skilled and have got knowledge that is required for today's cutting-edge economic environment, we are playing a role in ensuring that Zambia enhances its productivity. That has been our primary focus.
The water and sanitation crisis being experienced in Choma and Livingstone will soon be a thing of the past. Water Development, Sanitation and Environmental Protection Minister Jonas Chanda has disclosed that his ministry is in the process of receiving a grant of 10.8 million euros from the German government aimed at improving the water and sanitation crisis in the two areas. Dr. Chanda says the two towns have been selected to benefit from the financing due to the population size and economic activities in the areas. The minister is in Southern Province to appreciate the water and sanitation situation in the province, and Southern Province Permanent Secretary Edfai Hamkali says the province is home to about 30% of the livestock in the country, and water is an essential commodity to both humans and animals. Details in this report.
Water is life. Sanitation is health. Is a song we need to sing every day to remind us of the importance of this commodity. Water, Development, Sanitation and Environmental Protection Minister Jonas Chanda is in Choma district of Southern Province, where he has disclosed that a sum of 10.8 million euros from the German government will be given to his ministry to ease water and sanitation challenges in Choma and Livingstone Township.
I must mention that just over a week ago, I had a meeting with the German ambassador, Dr. Anne Wagner-Michel. She paid the courtesy call on me, and we're specifically discussing Southern Province, Choma and Livingstone in particular. The German government has communicated officially to us, although we'll get the details next week. So the Federal Republic of Germany will be providing 10.8 million euros just to improve the water supply and sanitation issues in Choma and in Livingstone. Specifically, these are two big towns because the populations are huge and the economic activities in terms of contribution to Zambia are huge. So we are very, very grateful to the German government, for coming through. And the German government and other cooperating partners doing this because of the high confidence they have in the leadership of President Lungu and the government. We have very good bilateral relations, which, as you know, date back to after we got independence, 1964, 56 years. So German and other cooperating partners are really supportive. So next week, when we have the Zambia-German bilateral cooperative meetings and agreements, we'll get the details and we shall keep you fully updated. But we are hopeful that these projects can move quickly to address some of these huge challenges that you have addressed.
The funds will also be used to finish up water and sanitation projects that have been abandoned by a Chinese contractor.
And I should also mention that some of the stored projects, I'm aware in Choma, for example, that China State had been here to start a project on water and sanitation, which had stored. But basically, the remedy to that is what I'm talking about. The 10.8 million euro will go a long way to addressing the challenges. And we're going to work very closely with the provincial administration.
The demand for water is not only for humans, but also for animals. The province is the leader in livestock population, and we are home to over 34% of Zambia's cattle population and accounts for the highest percentage of goat population and sheep. With that, it entails that the water demand is not only restricted to urban areas but also amongst those that are involved in farming.
The Choma Lundazi Dam was also greeted by Mr. Chanda's presence, who was shocked to note that some illegal sand dealers have invaded the area, which might affect the state of the dam.
Protected area anyway, because
what we call water security. So what's the security measures we have here? So this has to be fenced off. You know, as a matter of agency, those are illegal sand miners. Between sand mining and giving water supply, which one is the priority? You know, so no one eats sand. You know, we drink water. So we have to stop those illegalities.
Mr. Chanda has also asked the Choma administration to work with WAMA to see to it that all illegal sand miners are removed from the dam site. Prudence Chota for Camnet TV News.
14,710 farmers under the Farmer Input Support Program, FISI program in Chadiza District, Eastern Province have accessed their inputs. Chadiza District Commissioner George Perry says the quick distribution of the inputs has been made possible by the quick response from the import distributors. The District Commissioner was speaking in Eastern Province when Neria Investment General Manager Martin Chaikatisha paid a courtesy call on him and other 3 traditional leaders. Meanwhile, Neria's Investment General Manager Martin Chaikasha says he is delighted to hear that all fertilizers delivered in the district have been accessed by the beneficiaries. Mr. Chaikasha says his organization will continue working with government in ensuring that inputs are delivered on time.
So we want to thank you for Neria for this timely distribution of the inputs, and I want to put it on record that Chadiza, we have all the farmers, 14,710, they all received by a week ago. So we don't have any farmer who has not yet received the inputs for farming season for 2020/2021. Okay. So I want to thank you. We look forward that such relationship can continue for betterment of putting food on the table, but also enhancing income to the households.
No, I think it's a momentous occasion that we've come here to just pay courtesy call to the Royal Highnesses and your office, just to get first-hand information on what exactly transpired in the fertilizer distribution. And I'm happy that your office has confirmed, including the DACO's office, that the fertilizer was distributed early and all the farmers have collected. The sheds are empty, they've closed up. So it really makes me happy, and I'm sure it will make the president happy, because he's been emphasizing that farmers should receive inputs before the rains, and it's actually true. And I would like to also thank the Royal Highnesses for encouraging their people to deposit early, the transporters to mobilize, so that the inputs are moved in the right direction.
Tsoyamikira kwambiri kuti fertilizer nabwera nthawi yabwino, komanso anthu anaombola nthawi yabwino. Izi zitheka chifukwa chogwirizana ndi boma na ise mafumu, chifukwa chakuti boma nalo linalugula bwino chimanga, imapereka msanga ndalama za chimanga. Tsono alimi anapeza nthawi ni ndalama nthawi yabwino kuti alipire ku fertilizer.
Anthu akuvutika watenga msanga fertilizer, ndipo pano tikamba nthali yense alutsimikizira kuti ulimi uzaenda bwino, Mulungu akatipasa madzi.
Isi mafumu ndisokondwera ngako kuti kampani yaneriya yagwirizana na boma kuti ithandizire pofuna kuchotsa njala mdziko lathu lino la Zambia. Ni chinthu chotamandika kwambiri. Munthu ngati sakudya sakhala na moyo wabwino. Matenda yamativuta ngati munthu sakudya chabwino, chakudya chambiri pa tsiku, kudyako katatu.
6 Burundi nationals in Chinsali, Muchinga province have been convicted for failure to appear before an immigration officer upon entry contrary to the laws of Zambia. The 6 have been sentenced to pay a fine of 15,000 kwacha, or in default 9 months simple imprisonment. The Burundi nationals, all males aged between 21 and 30 years, were intercepted on separate incidences at Nambuloma checkpoint, aboard a minibus and a saloon vehicle vehicle on 5th and 10th November 2020 respectively. Meanwhile, the 2 vehicles have since been forfeited to the state. The conviction of the 6 Burundi nationals bring the total number of convictions secured by the Department of Immigration countrywide in the last 3 days between 17th and 19th November 2020 to 26. And during the same period, the department also apprehended 81 persons for various immigration offences countrywide. This is contained in a statement issued to Camnet TV by the Immigration Office Public Relations Officer Namati Shinka. You're watching Camnet News. We take another set of commercials. When we come back, we look at international and sports news.
And why do you look so pale and busy scratching yourself?
Well, Amwandi, you know my skin is very sensitive. I've tried all the skin products and nothing seems to work.
Have you tried Oracle Pure Glycerin?
Oracle Pure Glycerin? What's that?
Just give me a minute.
Oracle Pure Glycerin gives your skin a youthful and healthy glow.
Ish! You're glowing.
Don't tell me.
Yes!
I already know the secrets.
Oracle Pure Glycerin!
Try Oracle Pure Glycerin for that perfect skin.
Stay home, stay safe. Times have changed. With the advent of the coronavirus, Lusaka Water Supply and Sanitation Company would like to advise its esteemed customers to avoid visiting crowded places. You don't have to move to pay your water bill. You can do it in the convenience of your home. You can pay your water bills through Zanaco Zapit, Stanbic Bank, Standard Chartered Bank, and FNB. You can also use Airtel, MTN, and Zamtel Kwacha mobile money transfer services. For any inquiries to report a fault, please contact our customer service on +260 211 251 571, +260 975 618 618, and toll-free line 5957, Zamtel only. You can also simply email customerservice@lwsc.com. This public announcement is brought to you by the Lusaka Water Supply and Sanitation Company. Water is life. Sanitation is health.
Hello, have you heard about MISISI? Do you know that you can advertise for as low as 150 kwacha for 30 seconds? Well, MISISI is here. Advertise on MISISI between 17 hours and 18 hours. Just tell us about the services that you offer and we'll gladly put you on the market. For more details, you can contact
+260 953 995099, +260 962 444 726, or +260 971 177 467.
MISISI, allowing your business to grow.
Join Pastor Victoria and Moses Chilua, the Healing Word Ministries International.
Starting on the 3rd to 6th December 2020.
Dr. Francis Miles from the USA returns to Zambia for a conference on issuing restraining orders.
Because you see, God responds to your revelation. So if you approach God as the healer, He heals you. If you approach Him as your shepherd, He will touch your soul. But if you approach Him judicially, He will show you He's the cause.
Venue: the Healing Word Ministries International in Ibex Hill. Time:
17 hours to 19 hours from Thursday to Saturday.
And on Sunday from 09 hours to 11 hours. For more details, call +260 962 965 883. You do not want to miss this conference this time.
This is Camnet News. Welcome back. We now look at international news. Police in Kenya are investigating an online cartel that targets girls stuck at home because of COVID-19 and lures them under false pretenses to what officers describe as orgies. The case came to light after 3 missing teenagers were rescued by officers in the capital, Nairobi. The 3 told police they had seen a social media account that invited them to parties in the city. Police warned parents to keep a close eye on their children's activities. Cases of young girls disappearing, some after being promised jobs, have been reported in Kenya's media in recent days. Earlier this week, the relative of one girl made a tearful appeal on Twitter, fearing she had been kidnapped or trafficked. The relatives say the girl had gone missing in Nairobi on Saturday after being lured by people who were promising modeling jobs. On Friday, police tweeted that child protection detectives had rescued 3 of the 7 girls reported missing. Earlier this month, the East African country tightened restrictions as the second wave of the coronavirus caused a surge in cases and deaths. Moving on in the news, but still on the international front, Donald Trump has had a fresh setback in his bid to overturn his loss in the U.S. election, as Michigan lawmakers indicated they would not seek to undo Joe Biden's projected win in the state. 2 Republican legislators pledged to follow normal processes in validating the vote after a White House meeting. Earlier on Friday, Georgia dealt the U.S. president another blow to certifying Mr. Biden's razor-thin margin of victory. The Democrat is set to take office on the 20th of January 2021 as the 46th president. Mr. Biden's victory in the Electoral College system, which determines who becomes president, is projected to be 306 to 332, far above the 270 he needs to win.
Options narrow as Michigan backs Biden when Donald Trump has had a fresh setback in his bid to overturn his loss in the U.S. election, as Michigan lawmakers indicated they would not seek to undo Joe Biden's projected win in the state. 2 Republican legislators pledged to follow normal process in validating the vote after a White House meeting. Earlier on Friday, Georgia dealt the U.S. president another blow by certifying Mr. Biden's razor-thin margin of victory. The Democrat is set to take office on the 20th of January as the 46th U.S. president. Mr. Biden's victory in the Electoral College system, which determines who becomes president, is projected to be 306 to 232, far above the 270 he needs to win. His lead in the public vote overall stands at more than 5.9 million. Mr. Trump, who has had few public appearances since the 3rd of November vote, on Friday again falsely claimed victory. "I won, by the way," he said, while making an announcement on drug pricing. He has made allegations of widespread electoral fraud, without providing any evidence. His press secretary Kayleigh McEnany accused the media and Democrats of hypocrisy. While in 2016 President Trump became the duly elected president, many sought to undermine him, discredit him, delegitimize him and deny his victory. "There were no calls for unity, there were no calls for healing," she said. So while every legal vote is counted, let us not forget the inexcusable transition, or lack thereof, that President Trump had to endure in 2016 and for years into his presidency.
Some 9,000 kilometers away from where George Floyd was killed in Minneapolis, Minnesota, echoes of Black Lives Matter ring out in Brazil. Thousands of demonstrators took to supermarkets and streets across the country in response to the beating of a black man at a grocery store in the southern city of Porto Alegre.
Ser negro no Brasil é você ter a sua humanidade roubada, é você ter todos os seus direitos violados, é você não ter a possibilidade de ir e vir com a tranquilidade, é você ter o sistema de segurança pensado para ter você como acusado, mesmo quando você é a vítima.
Amateur footage of the incident showed a white security guard repeatedly punching a 40-year-old black man in the face while a second guard restrained him. Both of the security guards, one of whom is an off-duty military police officer, have been arrested. The Brazilian subsidiary of the French supermarket group also said it cut ties with the security firm that hired the accused. Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro rejected accusations of structural racism in Brazil, accusing the protesters of attempting to stoke hatred and division. There is no point in dividing the suffering of the Brazilian people into groups, he tweeted, adding that problems such as violence are experienced by everyone. Brazil, which was the last country in the Americas to abolish slavery, has a long history of racism. one that activists say the country has failed to eradicate. Though black and mixed race people account for 57% of Brazil's population, they constitute nearly 80% of those killed by police.
Well, that's it in international news. We now look at sports news. In sports news, the second round of SUSCON Invitational Golf Tournament teed off today for only the second of the total of 3 rounds. The players were put to a test as the wind also decided to play and take part in the round. There's currently 2 players tied at the top with 4 under par at the end of round 2. Michael Chilova has the details in this report.
The start of day 2 commenced today, showing signs of a windy round ahead for the players that qualified and made the cut. The organizing team had a big role to play as they also made sure the little champions in the making were catered for. This is the reason the pros are fighting for the top spot in this week's SUSCON Invitational. Amateurs and pros went toe-to-toe as they both showed quality shots to get the best result on a windy day. Malawian overnight leader Paul Chidale, who finished the first round tied with 4 under par, had a brilliant second shot to the first that was within 6 feet. He missed it slightly to the left, just touching the hole, and tapped in his par to continue the round.
Tell us about your round yesterday and how it's going so far.
Well, my round yesterday I played well. It's going well and I'm looking forward to bring better, to improve my game than yesterday.
After the lockdown, how nice is it to be out playing again?
Well, it's very, very, very nice to be back on the course because of COVID. Everything was down, so it's nice to be back on the course. Very happy.
What do you think about golf in Zambia and the competition?
Well, the golf in Zambia I can see is improving and the competition it's also there. Yeah.
Well, I wish you all the best this week and we'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
All right.
Yes.
Gabriel Chivale, who tied Paul in the first round and is playing his first tournament as a pro, had some time to interact after teeing off.
Gabriel Chivale, just turned pro. How is it going?
Yeah, it's good.
Tell us about your round yesterday.
My round was good. My first tournament as a professional golfer. I played well. Just need to keep the same spirit.
That's good. And how's the course treating you?
The course is perfect. I like the course and the support is amazing.
Paul Chidale holds a 36-hole lead at 4 under and is tied with Mwalikwa Sondashi, who was 2 shots back in round 1 but shot 2 under today to finish 4 under after 36 holes. Madaliso Mutia, Patrick Mondapole and Sydney Wemba are in 3rd, 4th and 5th respectively. Join us for the final round to see more putts like this Sunday at the final round of the SUSCON Invitational Tournament at Bonanza Golf Club in Lusaka. Michael Chilua reporting for Camnet TV Sports News in Lusaka.
That item ends our news this evening. Let's look at the headlines once again. 38-year-old woman of MISISI compound survives 18 years of gender-based violence, finds solace in education. And Gia's initiative supports impeachment motion in Parliament. Voter apathy, a result of poor political leadership, charges AVAP. In international news, Kenyan online cartel is lowering girls to orgies, police warn. And in sports news, day 2 of SUSCON Golf Invitational Tournament has 2 tied at 4 under par. And we look at the Camnet verse for the day. It's coming from 3 John 1 verse 2, and it reads, "Dear friend, I pray that you may prosper in every way and be in good health physically, just as you are spiritually." Thank you so much for joining us on the news desk. My name is Sharon Kalimbula. Keep watching Camnet TV.